Hello everyone, this is Seraphil playing Rain World, and oh, they all have their own little dots. That's neat. So yeah, these do seem to be echoes of my Slugcat. Last time we got into the depths of the temple and things got really weird. And I swam away from this for a while before realizing I'm supposed to swim toward it, after I realized there was actually something to swim towards. But yeah, it looks like we're supposed to go into the light. Let's see what happens. Loading. Alright, we've got a cutscene sort of thing. It's the Sea of Slugcats. Or are those even Slugcats? I think we've seen visions of this place a few times while resting. I suppose that is a Slugcat. This is kind of a more abstract art style, so it's difficult to tell sometimes what we're looking at. Those eyes. Oh. It looks like we found a collective of slugcats. Slugcat heaven, maybe? Ascension, you have left this world behind. Okay. That's a lot to unpack. It did feel like a lot of the game was leading up to kind of ascending to a higher plane of existence, or something along those lines. But still, I'm not quite sure what happened. Or why swimming into whatever that stuff was would do that. Again, as I've said before, it feels like most of the backstory is in those colored pearls. So collecting those and getting them bred might help to explain what's going on. But yeah, there is a lot more to this game. Yeah, there's expansions, which I don't have currently. I understand that a number of the Slugcats and the More Slugcats expansion actually play considerably differently from the default one. Like, I think we had two other Slugcats available in the base game. One was it Saint or Monk? I think one of those is an expansion one, and one of them is the one that we have available. But from what I understand, that other one that we could play in the base game is sort of an easy mode. I think it was they don't eat meat, but they don't need to eat as much, and there's also less danger. While the other one, the hunter, is more hard mode. Mostly eats meat, gets hungrier, and I heard hints of some kind of something that adds an additional complication. The one who screams, I guess. Steve G for believing in us. Tucker for his incredible patience. 5,000 hours. Yeah, I can believe it. I could imagine spending 5,000 hours on the physics engine alone. Special thanks. A Deer Mask Artificer Archipede. Yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff in the More Slugcats expansion. Beta testers, challenge mode. Not sure what challenge mode is. Not sure if that's something in the expansion or if it gets unlocked after you finish the game. Egg Zero. In memory. The Watcher, I believe, was a more recent expansion, which I also don't have. Special thanks and loving memory. Yeah, in memory of seems thematically appropriate for this game. We're traveling through the remains of something that once was a great civilization. And it feels like everything is just decaying. And the only way out is to ascend to another plane of existence. And the rains keep raining. Never get an explanation for that either, but kind of get the impression it has something to do with the iterators. So there was a lot of stuff that seemed to be fueled at least in part by steam or water power. Special thanks to our backers. Thorson. Thaddeus Thorson. Isn't that the Celeste person? Yeah, lots of names. It's a nice thing about crowdfunding. You can get a lot of people involved in something, at least tangentially. And you can get stuff going that otherwise never would have had the chance to get off the ground. And still the rains keep coming. I don't know. Is it worth it to try playing a little with one of the other slugcats just to see what's different? Maybe. I think maybe I'll try like an episode or two worth of each one just to kind of try to get a feel for them. Yep, there's some Korean going by on the left column. Can't read it, but I can recognize the language. Yeah, lots and lots of names. But, Yeah, I think if you just want to get through the game, if you're doing a speed run for some reason, what you want to do is head straight to Five Pebbles, then head straight to the temple. And those are really your objectives. Get your karma expanded, get past the Guardians. But if you don't know that, the guide, what's supposed to happen is the guide takes you to Looks to the Moon. That then sends you to Five Pebbles, because Looks to the Moon needs neurons. Five Pebbles sends you through the farm-raised to the subterranean. And that's your intended course. Is there anything new here? Is it just me, or does that look different? The hunter is strong and quick with a fierce metabolism. Their stomach won't be any too. Yeah, hunter sounds like hard mode. The monk, weak of body, strong of spirit, in tune with the world, emphatic to its creatures, significantly more peaceful journey. That sounds like easy mode. Also has more of like a serene, meditative look. Whereas the hunter just looks angry. Wait, I think this has changed. And you do have the option to restart if you want to start over, of course. But, yeah. Yeah, this has been quite a journey. And again, there's a lot more to find, I'm sure. I barely even looked at the Sky Islands. Definitely never finished mapping out several of the other areas. There are probably at least a few more echoes out there. There are definitely a lot more pearls. Uh, Between the ones I've seen and the ones I suspect, there's probably somewhere around a dozen or so. So I know I've seen at least like 4 or 5, and there's more I haven't found, I'm sure. So yeah, probably somewhere in the order of 10, 15, maybe even 20. And that's where you get your background information, it seems like. They do seem to be area specific also. So if you bring a pearl from, say, the garbage waste, you'll probably get information relating to the garbage wastes. And yeah, I'm sure there's more mechanics I never figured out, because I was still figuring things out at the very end, like that you can grab the squid bugs and use them like Mario propeller blocks, which is probably how you would get to some of those things I couldn't figure out how to get to. Yeah, there's definitely more unlockables in the arena. Yeah, we've got more arenas for one thing, but I mean, there's all these creatures that are not filled in here. Looks like there's another type of lizard, at least 3. Some other stuff. There's scavengers. I think those are those drop bugs that ambush you from the ceiling. That, I think, was one of those tentacled abominations. This might be the things scurrying around in groups in the dark. That's a centipede. Yeah, slugcat lizards. Oh yeah, if you look real close, this lizard doesn't have eyes. So that's one of those ones you encounter in the dark. No eyes, but extra feelers. And we're getting some music here. Yeah, this has been Airphone playing Rainbow. We've beat the game. Still have a lot of questions. But yeah, I think I'm going to try out the other Slugcats and yeah, just see what happens. Not do a full playthrough with them, just a bit. So, yep, come back later for a bit of that, and in the meantime, I'll be thinking about what to play next. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. This has been a lot of fun, if sometimes frustrating. And I do like the exploration gameplay. So, yeah. Slugcats.